Cairns O'Reilly beat Kenmare Shamrocks 215 to 117. The winner came from Grode Savage, so he was introduced for the black carded Con Barrett just 3 minutes earlier. Now this was the last kick of the game, 5th minute of injury time or something, and once again the black card is rewarding a team. So the only reason this guy, Grode Savage, was on the field at that particular time is because of a black card. So you'd imagine that Kenmare were going down the other end, and a cynical foul was needed to stop them scoring. And the cynical foul allowed a substitution that ended up in a winner the other end. So
it's definitely, I talked about this last week with someone. It's like, people within the GA are unbelievable, and the Dubs are the best at it, of using rules or change of rules or things to their advantage. Basically, a rule is brought in the GA, and smart managers, smart players, smart teams look at it and say, okay, how can we exploit this as best as possible? It's like Pat McEnany was on the Sunday game live before the All-Ireland football final, and he said there was 78 pitch incursions by the Mayor and Forna in the drawn game. It's basically like there's no rule there to prevent them, so they're go out there. Tommy Griffin's out with his hands up, Jason Sherlock is out with his hands up, and until something is brought in, if a rule brought in, and I'm sure they'll come up with some creative way around it when that rule is brought in, but it's so smart. I love that, because it's analysing what we have. Are we making the most of this rule? Is there more we can get out of? How can we maximise different things? And teams are doing that. And the black card is a perfect example. Brought in for one reason, being used for another reason.
But it's even like VAR in the Premier League at the moment. You have to think of the unintended consequences of something like this. Like, the excitement has nearly been drained out of the Premier League at the moment. You watch a game, and who was it? Azpilicueta scored for Chelsea over the weekend. It goes off celebrating, blowing the kisses, all that, full Joe Brolly mode, and then it's brought back a couple of minutes later, and you're like, it was for like in the build-up, one of the players was offside, and again, it's the unintended consequences here. As I said many times before, the only way to punish a team is on the scoreboard. If you do a cynical foul, I think this would be my way: a free on the 14 with only 2 people allowed in, so it's guaranteed point, and possibly you're even putting yourself at risk for a goal. I think a penalty is slightly too harsh, but a free out of the hands from the 14, hey, you'll stop that pretty quickly.
The scoreboard is the only way to punish indiscretions like that.
Even look at American football, which I watch all the time. If you do, like, let's say, a late hit on a quarterback, and I might have the rules mixed up, but something like this, late hit on the passer, then, and let's say you're on the 50-yard line, it's half the distance to goal, so it's brought up to 25. It's something really punitive, and you need that to stop, because this idea, it's happened again, and Cairns are laughing. Cairns Rally are laughing.
See, the advantage rule is brought in now, so the 5 seconds, right? So what some teams are doing now is they're fouling a fella, and the arm is up for the advantage, and some teams are being clever about it. They're even thinking at the time, they're thinking, this lad mightn't score, I might let him off. I might let the 5 seconds go, and then he hits it wide or drops it short. If he puts it over, fair enough. But if he doesn't, no free, ball back up the other end. And teams have been smart about it now. That's why I think maybe going towards the rugby rule and letting it go till the end of the play and then bringing it back regardless. Because if an advantage is an advantage, it should still be an advantage. And the players don't know that it's an advantage as well. I don't know whether the referee should shout to them or do something. I don't know.
You have to think of the unintended consequences again. Let's say I'm fouling you and I just let it go, and the free is going to be brought back, but in the meantime I hit you a box into the jaw. It's gone backwards for the free, so me doing the violent conduct afterwards was in a part of the game that is now no longer relevant. I just thought,
I know what you mean.
But also what you were saying about a guy's in possession who won't score. You hear some teams on the field shouting, give us the free, we want the free, we want the free, as in don't let the advantage go. And like, can you sort of in a situation, you get fouled and you see the arm go up, can you as the player with the ball just turn and stop and just say, like, you could get buried at the shoulder then if the ref is saying advantage, but could you just stop?
You can do, and you probably should,